Welcome to Team Products Online. This is Percy, and today we are reviewing the Samsung A10 and the pouch with the credit card holder. Alright, so let's get into the video. Alright, so this is the A10, and you can see this is the screen and the front camera right here, and those are the one of those cameras with the depressions, and it comes with 13 megapixels at the back and then 5 at the front. Alright, so this is also the speaker, and this is the leather pouch. Alright, so let's pop it in. Alright, now it feels a bit heavy, and this is what you should feel like, a phone that's a bit heavy. Alright, so let's test the credit card holder. Alright, so I'm going to start with the Visa card. Right, then the ID. Alright, so I could hardly fit two. Alright, so if you have more cards, I think going the wallet route would be a great idea. Alright, so let's power it on. Alright, so it's a bit slow when booting up. Alright, so it's on. Then we put on the SIM pin if you have a SIM card inserted. Then you have to set up a pattern. I already set up this one. Alright, so as you can see, the depression, the kind of futuristic look on the, as you can see, this is the depression with the front camera. Alright, so the full front part is the screen, right? So let's increase the brightness a little bit. Alright, now, so we are going to be using getgadgetsnow.com for 10 things to consider when buying a smartphone. Okay, so let's start with number 1. It says smartphones these days have become an integral part of our lives. We use them for communication, taking pictures, saving documents on the cloud, internet browsing, and even as a power bank charge to other smartphones, right? Alright, but then with the wide variety of smartphones available in the market, it's never easy to decide which one to pick. It's always tough deciding the one that may suit your needs best. Here's a list of things you should consider before you decide to buy a smartphone. Alright, so let's start with the build quality. Alright, build is all about durability. Alright, build is all about durability of a smartphone. The entire handset market is largely divided into two types of builds, metallic and plastic. Alright, so on ours we have a plastic one, right? As you can see, this is a plastic phone. Alright, okay. Okay, now there are some that even have glass coated panels, but those are very limited. If you are the one of those prone to dropping your smartphones, it's advisable to go for a metallic or a plastic build. These can sustain drops from 2 to 3 feet, while the glass-based handsets are sure to shatter, right? Then we go on to display. The size and resolution of display depends on how you use the smartphone. If you often stream videos, edit photos or videos, or download and view movies, then a smartphone display ranging from 5.5 inches to 6 inches Full HD and QHD resolution should be good enough for you. Alright, so this is the Samsung A10. So we are going to be using Google also to see the resolution. Alright, so let's just type in A10 resolution. A10 resolution. Alright, so we have a 6.2 inch HD Infinity V display with a 720 by 1000 by 1520 resolution. The phone itself measures 155.6 times 107 times 75 times 6 by 7.9 millimeters and weighs 168 grams, and including the pouch, so we have about 200 grams or so. Alright, now so this is the first thing, and so we would say it's a win on this one, right? Let's go on to the second one. The processor. The processing power of a smartphone varies from one device to another depending on several factors such as OS version, UI, bloatable, and more. If you are a heavy user who needs to edit images, videos, documents online, play heavy games, stream videos, or often use apps in split screen mode, then the Qualcomm and Snapdragon 652 or Snapdragon 820 and 821 should make multitasking fluid for you. Light users will be happy with the handset, which comes with a MediaTek processor. Alright, so let's Google again our processor. Alright, so let's type in Samsung A10 processor. Alright, so we have an Exynos, and it's written octa core, that's 9, and the processor make is Exynos 7884. Alright, so I think we should be good because I've tried a lot of apps, and as you can see, I installed a lot of games here and they've been running so smooth, right? So I think on the processor part we are good. Then we go on to the camera. Just having higher number of megapixels does not mean that the smartphone camera is better. Several specifications such as camera aperture, ISO levels, pixel size, autofocus, and more are essential as well. A 16 megapixel rear camera does not necessarily mean a better than a 12 megapixels camera. Same theory goes to the front-facing camera. Alright, a higher number of pixels means that the size of the image is bigger, right? Which becomes more sharper when seen on small screens. A photographer enthusiast might want a camera with 12 or 16 megapixel sensor under a frame of 2.0 or lower aperture for speedy shots and even low lights. As casual, the shooter can go by even with an 8 megapixels or a 12 megapixels camera. Alright, camera with 2.0 and 2.2 aperture. Alright, so we have the 13 megapixels as I said from the start, right? Then we go on to the battery. Our battery, let's go on to the settings. Alright, the battery usage differs from user to user depending on the way he or she uses the smartphone. If you are a heavy user and work on apps, play games, stream videos and more, then go for a smartphone with at least 3.5 thousand mAh battery or above. If you see an average or light user, a handset with 3000 mAh battery would be good enough for a full day, right? So let's go on to the battery. Alright, so let's go to the battery here. Where is it? Alright, so let's go on to the status. I'm pretty sure that's where our battery is. Alright, so let's go to the battery information. The battery capacity, as you can see now, is 3,400 mAh, which is typical. Alright, so as a heavy user using this phone, eventually it will start to drain the battery, right? So when using it as new, it will be okay, but as time goes on, the battery starts to become weak, right? Then let's move on to the next one. The interface or OS version. Alright, the interface and the OS version, two are key factors to consider while choosing a smartphone. These are the interfaces that one would have to interact with each time to access anything, so it should be easy and simple. For most basic and pure Android experience, you can buy a Motorola handset, a Nexus Pixel smartphones, or even Android One devices. However, different interfaces like Zen UI, Xperia UI, Samsung TouchWiz, EMUI, and others offer more nifty features to sort applications and more options in style the company thinks users would find more friendly. However, smartphones by OEMs also comes with bloatware and certain apps that you probably won't use ever, so we recommend to try the handset before you pick one. Alright, so on this one I have these apps that I don't need, but I cannot you can uninstall them, but I'm not going to do that. Alright, so there are some apps that you won't need to use. Alright, like OneDrive, I don't want to use it, but I cannot uninstall it, right? Okay, so the Android version, let's check it. Okay, so we have the Android 10. So this is the Android 10, right? Then let's move on to the next one. the storage of the phone. Alright, a large part of smartphone storage is taken away from the OS and the apps the device comes with pre-installed. A 16, a 32 or a 64 or more don't really come with the exact mentioned space. If you like to keep less number of apps on your device, then you can go for a 32 gig storage. Alright, so this one is a win again for the Samsung because it has 32 gigs, right? 29 used out of 36 gigs, right? So this is a win on the Samsung. Then the security features. Alright, if you are looking at the security features, this device is a face unlock, right? So you can use your phone to unlock with your face or use a pattern, right? So the pattern works as a backup, right? So let's turn it off and try to use it again. Alright, so let's remove it, but let's lock it and try to unlock it using our face. Alright. Alright, so it's unlocked, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next one. So it's more secure. You either use your pattern or your face to unlock it, right? Then the speakers and the quality of audio coming out of it can be an important parameter for those who rely on heavy video streaming or a video conference, right? If you like entertainment on the go, buy a handset that has a front-facing speakers. This device sounds even while holding the smartphone in the landscape mode, right? So this is the landscape mode, and with as you can see the screen, as you can see the screen right here is covering the front part of the phone, so the speakers have been put at the back, right? And maybe a small speaker right here on the phone. I don't know if you can see it. That one is for calls, right? So you might use that. So let's open up YouTube. Alright, so let's just play this one. So it's using the bottom speakers, this one, right? So the speakers are actually not that great. I've seen better. Alright, the J5 Pro actually does it a bit better than this one, right? So I think the speaker we kind of lost, right? So let's go on to the next one. The headphone jacks and the USB ports. Alright, so this is the headphone jack and this is the USB port, right? So we have the classic C class we have the classic charger, then the classic headphone jack. So pretty much 90% of earphone jacks can fit right here, and also the basic versions of Android, you can fit the charger right here, right? Alright, so this was the top things to look for when buying a phone, right? Now, so we are going to check out some games and how fast they can get, right? So I'm going to play all of these games and attach the videos so that you can check them out. Alright. Okay, so this is the Samsung A10, and I really recommend that you buy it. So this is PC, and this was Team Products Online.